Time for some Charlie boys? Yes, it is. White Castles are served.
I almost didn't throw the white flag. I was going to give you one more lap.
The 9 running on the tires. He'll slide up off of turn number 4, Jerry. You've got a new race leader, Matthew Lowe. Your race leader with 4 laps to go.
All right, he told me to tell that joke.
Hey, it's episode 16.
Hey, Jerry
it's
did
like
it right
Christmas
this
time.
time.
It's ho, 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 and mistletoe. Right here.
I see you're wearing a major award today.
Oh, hang on a minute. It is.
If the shoe fits, wear it.
Yes.
Fragile.
Oh,
And seriously, everybody was apparently not kung fu fighting.
They weren't. I love this shirt.
Where'd you
It's
get
one of
that shirt
my favorites.
at?
I can't tell you. It's a secret. I had it made.
Is Spencer still around in the
Yeah,
vault?
that's where this came
They
from.
are
There
still
you go.
around. Spencer's is still around.
If you tell him, you'd have to kill him, right? Will you tell him?
Hot topic. You got it at Hot
Not gonna
Topic.
take-
Really?
No,
I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm
You were
kidding.
going to make
Pack
everybody's
son.
Christmas wishes
along with
come
my
true.
But
Black
before you
hiking
kill him, I
boots.
want the shirt.
Okay, you can have
My
it.
black fingernail polish.
There we
Black
go.
fingernail
We
polish.
started,
Going all goth on us?
At Hot
for
Topic,
You going
yeah.
goth next year? Or
started
what?
out season. This is only season 2. We've only been doing this.
Yeah.
Why does
Yeah.
it seem like it's like season 19 or something like that?
I don't know.
It's the Jerry effect.
Yeah,
telling
that's
you, time
true.
I mean, when you get
It's
old
like
like
the
you, well,
29.
I mean, when you get old like you, things progress faster, so you think things
That's
happen
like the
more.
29
you're
days I stand next to him at the booth at Super National every year.
When you're around Jerry, it's like everything's in dog ears.
That ain't bad deal.
So 1 year is like 7 with you?
Yep.
Well, one
What are we going to talk about?
banquet was our last podcast, wasn't it?
Talk about
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Year in review. Did we do a little of that last
I
time?
think we did last
yeah,
year.
we did.
You know what? Speaking of holidays,
Happy holidays.
Halloween. I forgot. I never get dressed up for Halloween, ever.
It's Christmas time.
I know, but I got to go back to Halloween. And I decided to wear a costume this year at Halloween. You guys remember Revenge of the Nerds?
Are you booger?
You'll see who I am. Nate?
Hell is going.
These are the moments where I always get nervous.
Yeah.
These are those podcast moments where I'm like,
That thing is an old picture. Holy shit.
holy cow.
Where'd you,
Who the hell is that?
that's me from like 2000 and,
You got a Marshalltown Speedway
7.
shirt on, so I
That was
figured it
earlier this
yesterday.
That was, I think that was March.
no, it was not.
Frostbuster.
Jesus. I am so glad that you stalk me on the internet. When it
Those were
comes
the
to
days when you were out on the front stretch at Marshalltown with your hand up and being all.
No,
an
I
air
was over in the
traffic
corner.
How
control.
did cars get around him if he was on the front stretch?
Jesus. Fatty McGavin. Wow. Just looking, doing my best Peter Griffin there.
Your best Peter.
Bastards.
Oh my God, it is. It is Peter Griffin.
That's awesome.
That's a classic.
I'm nervous.
Well, if that's what you dressed up like as Halloween, it's a sure better improvement than the 364 days of your normal life.
Peter Griffin. I love it.
Oh, wow.
Bastards. Wow.
Seems like just yesterday, doesn't it,
It
Joe?
does. It feels just like yesterday when I was festively plump.
Gonna
And
hit the clam tonight there?
what's that?
Peter?
Yep, going to bring clam.
Yeah, Quagmire.
Me and Lois are gonna giggity.
Oh, shoot. What are we talking about besides Jerry?
Well, I guess that's what's on the docket
It'd
today.
be fun to talk about.
Do you have an agenda?
Not really.
Well, you have paper in front of you, or was that from last time
This
we
is
were
from
here?
the last podcast we did, I think.
What did we talk about 2 podcasts ago?
That's how organized I am.
We talked about points the last podcast we had
We
here.
did. We've done a lot since our last podcast, even since, prior to the banquet and then the banquet podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we had PRI.
Yeah.
We could talk a little bit about PRI.
Took some pictures at PRI.
Yeah. PRI was pretty busy.
A lot of people asking where Jerry was.
I highly doubt that.
No, producer Nate can verify it.
For those that
Yes.
have never been to PRI, I mean, it's people talk about PRI and they talk about SEMA a lot. We don't go to SEMA. SEMA isn't quite as specific to our industry like PRI seems to be.
SEMA is more like towing and
Yeah, I always say it's
No,
window
it's-
tint and wheels.
Yeah.
Is what I always say.
Well,
There's
that's
a
where they
lot
always
of-
take the big tow trucks and stuff. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff
yeah.
at SEMA.
I mean, there's a lot
I
of
haven't
shit
been to
there.
Seaman in a while.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna go, I went to SEMA. I think I went to SEMA with you, and I first started IMCA. That's the last time I'd been there.
That's not what you said, though, is it?
Yeah, I don't know what he said.
No, I know what he said.
But PRI was good. I thought it since obviously since COVID, they shut it down, and I don't think we went for 2 years, 1 year.
I think only one. I
Yeah,
think
1 year.
I think.
Oh, I didn't go that 1 year because I had I had to go on one of my wife's work achievers club, they call it. So I missed PRI because COVID had canceled it the year prior. They put it the next year right on top of PRI. So
She's the breadwinner of the family, so
She
you got to
is.
go support.
Yes,
She
she is the one. She is the one that gets him those peanut butter and jelly
definitely
sandwiches.
wears the pants.
You've been to Von Mar lately?
Why?
Was it Von Mar that you posted on Facebook?
Yeah, where was that picture of the
Oh.
sweater
That's-
from?
is that,
That
Yesterday.
was lunch yesterday.
that's an
Where
expensive
were you
lunch.
at? Yeah, that was an expensive. I saw the
I didn't.
tag.
I didn't know department
No,
store sold
we-
lunch.
We had to run I had to get some Christmas presents, and so I did that yesterday on my lunch hour. I ran to Cedar Rapids with my wife. I said, "Hey, hop in the car. We'll run to Cedar. I have to get some stuff." And so she hops in. I pick her up at the house. We go to Cedar Rapids, and she gets out, and she's walking in to the right to
to the store.
to the store, and the tags are hanging off the back of her shirt. And I'm like, this is a very common thing with me in Virginia. This happens a lot.
She leaves.
I'm
Buy
like,
it from
how do you forget to take the tags off?
Did she buy it from the store she was walking into? Though?
No.
Oh, I will
that
say
would've
there,
been good.
there is a closet full at my house that has tags
Did
on
it
them
still have the
and she's
security
never
deal
worn
on
them
it,
either.
too?
Didn't have the security thing. We didn't set off any alarms, but I'm like, hey, maybe you should take it. But it had one of those tags that was like string, so you couldn't just like pop it off. You had to literally cut it.
You get your teeth in.
But I don't know. I mean, that's one of the things that I love about my wife. We have a lot of those moments, a lot of fun things that we were able to laugh at each other and with each other. And, it's just one of those moments. I posted it on my Facebook page. I do have Snapchat now.
I saw that you had joined this.
I don't
Snapchat
understand.
world.
I do not understand
Why did you
shit
get on Snapchat?
about it. I don't understand how to.
You're on TikTok too. I had an.
I have TikTok and I have
Techno-Brett.
X,
Yeah.
formerly known as Twitter, and then I have Instagram and Snapchat, and I'm trying to figure out. I don't know how people keep up with all that stuff. It's like a full-time job.
I typically get on that stuff like before bed. I'll check the TikTok videos and I'll go through Instagram and see if there's anything. And
I did that
See, I
last night.
can't-
Started about 10:30. Went to bed at 4
Yeah,
this
I mean,
morning.
Exactly.
time just escapes
Yeah,
it.
you get down the real wormhole hole, or you.
Yeah, I can't do that. There's no way I could check it at night.
And that
before I
doesn't
go to
count the
bed.
normal porn that you surf.
No,
through.
exactly.
Yeah, correct. I'd never go to sleep if I checked it before I go to bed because it just gives me anxiety.
What are you doing on? What are you doing on all those apps now? What made
social
you decide
media?
to-
I've had them. I was very inactive on them. I have them.
Yeah, I was
like
waiting to
everybody
get, like,
else.
Snapchats
and
from,
then I'm
like,
like,
what
this
you
is
were
too much
doing.
work. I'm not doing that. This is more work. I'm not doing that. I mean, how do you possibly post across all those social media
Well,
platforms?
a lot of them you can cross post.
You post once and it'll go to all.
It'll
of them.
go. You set it up.
Some
that
of
way,
them
the
it
settings.
does.
Like
Not all of
Instagram and
A
Facebook.
great
and-
day to be on.
They all have
X.
different rules and everything else. I mean, I was like,
Why is it a great day to be on X?
It's National Letter of Intent Day, early signing day for football.
oh, yeah, Jim's into all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I like that. I
Hey,
didn't know that
speaking of
was today.
sports, my daughter Kennedy signed up for wrestling
What?
this week. Can you believe that?
The Vinton wrestling team is pretty good, isn't it?
She's in 7th grade, and she signed up for it. She weighs 80 pounds, 82 pounds, I think,
Yeah.
or something like that. So she signed up for wrestling, and I'm like, Ken, do you know what you're getting yourself into? Because Kennedy is like, don't touch me. If I grab her arm, she says I'm hurting her, that kind of stuff. I'm like, you realize what wrestling entails, right? Somebody's gonna throw you on the ground and pin you. And she's like,
gets
shut up. She's like,
suplexed.
shut up, Dad. And I'm like,
That's what
okay.
it's all about.
Is this like real stuff? Professional wrestling?
Not
No,
Jim,
it's that fake.
not Jim's wrestling, WWE,
No, AEW.
AEW.
No.
Is that what you was on
Real
the
wrestling
wire?
was WCW.
No, real wrestling was ECW.
Women's wrestling in Iowa
It's taken off.
is taking off
Oh yeah, it's huge.
quite a bit.
It's huge.
It's kind of crazy.
Nothing was better than ECW.
ECW was pretty damn good.
You're a wrestling fan, huh?
Me? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I went to his son's wedding, and I'm telling you, his son is even a bigger wrestling fan.
I don't know if you know this or not.
You like the fake
Hey,
stuff or the real
I mean,
stuff?
I don't know if you know this or
Oh,
not.
did
Real
I strike a nerve?
The real stuff.
But they
ECW.
did in the movie Waterboy, in that scene with Captain Insano when the Waterboy's calling in. That was right there, a true life story. Jim calling.
What? You lost me.
Waterboy, Captain Insano.
So anyhow,
Well, that'd be fun for you. You get to be a wrestling dad now.
Yeah.
from competitive cheerleading to
To
wrestling.
Now, do you know anything about
quite a
wrestling?
combination.
I mean,
I went out for wrestling until about 9th grade.
So
When it
you
got
know-
serious, then I quit.
you know the
Heavyweight?
how you do the
Were
scoring.
you heavyweight or?
Heavyweight, yeah.
You were puny in high school, weren't you?
They wanted me in 9th grade to wrestle in the 98-pound weight
Yeah,
division.
you were a little guy.
And you had to add weight to
And
get
I
there,
did
didn't you?
not have to cut weight to make 98 pounds. And so my
I was big
seventh
compared to
grader,
him back in school.
my 7th grade daughter weighs 82. I think I'm 82, 85 pounds, mid 80s, something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, that's how big I was when I was in 7th grade too.
Well, that's one of those sports you got to be committed to because you've got friends or people that kids wrestle. I mean, it's that whole cutting weight and that whole not eating and that to try to make sure here's the weigh-ins, and once you weigh in, well, now you can eat a little bit of this because now
Wrestling in Iowa is so serious.
Oh yeah.
It's like football in Texas.
I went to the
You
Iowa
go to Texas
State
and it's all
wrestling meet.
football down there. You here, it's all Iowa, it's all wrestling.
Yeah.
The day after the banquet, we got back from the banquet. I went to the Iowa State wrestling meet. I'd never been to one before up in Ames. That was intense.
Oh, they're crazy. Yeah.
That was just nuts.
Yeah,
I've been
crazy.
to that. I went to state wrestling tournaments a couple different times, and oh boy, whew, look out! You want to talk about? You think race fans are,
Right.
and crew people are that whole wrestling deal. I mean, there was some lady sitting up in the 300 section trying to watch this match with her son all the way down there, and I don't know what happened, but I could have swore to God she was going to jump out of the third level of Wells Fargo and come down and get this kid. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep eating my popcorn.
Yeah, so Kennedy signs up for wrestling and tells Virginia, she says, Mom, I signed up for wrestling. So the first thing Virginia says to me is, she isn't going to get big ears, is she?
Cauliflower.
That's exactly what Virginia said. I was laughing. I'm like, no, more than likely not going to get that serious.
Yeah.
Cauliflower ear. She's like, why is it like that? I'm like, I don't know. It's from beating on them all the time,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's just a
Right on the
cartilage
mat.
bust. You bust
Constantly.
the cartilage
Yep.
and stuff, and as it
Constantly.
heals, it doesn't heal correctly.
Injuring your ear, whatever it is. But
What was that? Yeah.
On my phone.
Oh, is there something more important
on
than this
TikTok?
podcast on the phone, or what?
so I might have
You
the.
looking for more pictures of me? I can give you some.
Not really.
Okay, good, but you were.
Someday I might have the only competitive cheerleader with cauliflower ear.
And there you go.
You're kind of unique, right?
Two sport.
Exactly. So anyhow, let's
I
get
see
back
her
to
more
racing.
like a volleyballer.
Her, Ken,
Taller.
she's
See her more
tiny.
like a volleyball.
She's not going to be
player,
very tall. I don't know. I don't think she's very tall. I think she'll be short like Virginia is. I think she's going to be petite. Unlike Alyssa, my oldest daughter, who's
She's
like
tall.
5'7".
Is she tall? Yeah, she's kind of.
Yeah, Alyssa's pretty tall. So Alyssa was a volleyball player. She tried. She enjoyed it. I don't see Ken. She hasn't went out for any of that stuff yet. We'll see. She was signed for wrestling and cheerleading.
What possessed her?
I have no idea. It just came out of the blue. She plays piano and the clarinet, and she's a competitive cheerleader, and she wants to be a wrestler too.
Maybe next podcast we'll have her on and we'll ask her.
Yeah, kids they just find their way. You know, they just do what they
Gotta
want.
try it, see if you like it.
Exactly. She wants a go-kart too, and I refuse to do that.
She was a stand-up comedian at the banquet.
She was.
Yes, she was.
She told me she wanted to MC our banquet next year.
I heard there's an opening.
Could be too.
Oh my good Lord.
Jerry's probably got a flow event he's got to do.
Crazy.
Nah, not that weekend. I'm free.
So anything from last year we want to talk about? Wrap up
Year in
on?
review?
Yeah, any other thing on this last year?
We
The
went-
banquet was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
banquet.
We had a very
crowded.
nice banquet.
Very
Yes,
well
we
It's
had,
very
attended.
tight. Very.
we had to add tables. That the banquet hall at the Cornhusker Marriott in downtown Lincoln, it hosts comfortably 600 is what their capacity is.
I think so. I think didn't they say if they had like the stage the half the size or the room that we use up front, they could put like close to 700.
Yeah,
in there.
when Brett was
Like-
giving his speech, I had a nice long conversation with the banquet manager because we got to know each other real well while Brett was talking, and
You guys exchange
talking
Christmas
and
card addresses and
talking,
stuff.
yeah,
Talking.
we're doing dinner this weekend. But no, he said without the stage, it's over 700 people they can put in there. But he said
Yeah,
most
but-
events use the stage. They had a Chamber of Commerce thing in there that is their biggest event, which is just a little bit bigger than our banquet, but ours is one of their.
we had 627. There was a couple people that showed up late too. There always is a buy ticket at the door. I think we had 6:30.
Something like that.
That's pretty.
It was full.
In a room for 600.
That's enough. That's enough for.
Bigger than any casino could hold.
Yeah, exactly. The thing I find interesting about our banquet is
We have it.
who attends. I mean, it's really interesting to me. And I didn't bring one of the hats. We gave special champion hats this year for anybody who come to our banquet as a champion. They got a special hat.
Yeah, those were pretty cool.
That said 2023 champion on it. I said we're going to do something special for her. I just think if you take the time to come to the banquet, we should try to do something special for you. The banquet itself we try to make it special, but given a hat this year, I thought was just kind of my way of, I think they're cool hats, and it's just my way of a little extra thank you for those who took the time to spend their holiday weekend with us.
And I hope everybody who got a hat checked the inside for that $100 bill that we stuffed in all
Yeah,
the hats.
exactly. I think that was your department. Did you forget to do that?
I better check.
Call Jim if you didn't get the $100. Call.
Well, there are about
Call Jim.
120 drivers there, so
But the thing that was interesting, I thought, was if you look at like the compact division and the hobby stock division,
a
in
lot of those
particular,
two divisions.
Yeah,
there's a lot of racers, and not only that, there's a lot of young racers. And the other thing I think is interesting in our banquet is you get a lot of people that come from long distances.
Yep.
It kind of surprises me. I mean, they have the most to, I guess the most time it takes.
right.
They
They sacrifice the most possibly.
Yeah,
to get there.
a lot of them fly, a lot of them drive. I mean, it's just interesting to me who chooses to come to the banquet and who doesn't. What
and it was a
divisions do and what
variety
don't.
too, whether it was a state champion or a
How
track champion.
important that track
yeah.
championship is to a lot of these drivers.
Yeah,
Everybody talks about, big money shows,
Right.
big money shows. But at the end of the day, just to see the excitement that these guys have for winning a track championship is refreshing.
I think it motivates them too. A lot of guys talk about that'll be me next year up there on the stage giving the speech. When they come, they want to see what it's like and know what they can do should they win a national championship.
I was just looking at points, and Mike Nichols has next year's stock car championship already locked up.
Well, he did say it.
He
He
could be his
did
last
say it was
year.
going to be his last year next year.
That's what he's thinking.
he's raced for a long time.
Yeah,
He's won a lot.
He has.
more than 2, less than $1 million.
Are you sure?
Close
Crazy.
to
He's probably close to the $1 million.
closer to $1 million than it is too.
But it was a good banquet. It was
No,
a good
I,
banquet.
you
I
really,
thought it was a good way to end our season.
just the job Virginia does, and Kim and all the staff here to put
Yeah.
this deal on. It's crazy.
It's an intense amount of work, just organizing everything. You guys get the script, and it's difficult because we try to keep it all organized, and you have to take everybody's awards that are there, and we can't haul everybody's awards. That it's a good thing we only get 630 and we're at capacity,
Right.
because if we get much more than that, we start getting into problems with trying to get everything over there.
Take a semi truck.
Because after the banquet, we come back and
Pull
we
the
ship
banquet
out.
on the sidewalk, have them walk by the thing.
It's like a drive-through window. Here's your award. Here's your award.
all the champions boxes, the jackets, the plaques, all the point fund checks and everything go out after the banquet. So we had another, I think it was right at 350 or 360 shipments of boxes.
I figured there'd be more than that.
It was like I think we had just shy of 500 boxes going
Boxes
out.
going out.
Yep. I think I was.
Yeah, that's probably right because some of those doubled up with their.
It's a trailer
Stater
load in
track.
itself because, we fill our trailer up just to go over, take everything to the banquet and give all that stuff out, empty the trailer. Then I come back and we fill the trailer back up and I take all of the stuff to to the post office to get it all shipped out the following week.
I bet the post office is happy.
They
to
love
see you.
to see us.
Oh, here's Brad.
Like, how many of those you got? And I'm like, well,
How do you fit them all
you
in
want
the
the
little
truth?
box?
Yeah, how do you put them in the letter
yeah,
thing?
yeah, you want the truth? So, yeah, we got all that stuff shipped out. All the point fund checks went out. We talked a little bit about that. We did increase our sanctioning fees last year. I think for those of people that kind of, racers don't necessarily need to know this, but it does impact them. So it's interesting for people to know. We increased our sanctioning fees in some of our divisions last year, and it ended up generating, for those that don't understand our structure, our sanctioning fees are essentially the track point funds. Correct. So a lot of people, will say, the promoters sometimes will say to the racers, I don't want to pay all those sanctioning fees to IMCA. Well, in a nutshell, that's also saying to the racer, I don't want to pay the point fund to you. I mean, there's some situations where we're used. That situation in particular is used against us. The promoter says, well, I don't want to pay $2,000 or $3,000 in IMCA to sanction that division. So I'm just going to drop the sanction, and then I don't have the sanctioning fees. Well, the reality is when that happens, many times the point fund for that division is gone the next year. Some tracks don't do that, but some tracks do. So whenever a sanction's dropped, I think racers should always ask, are you going to still do a point fund? Because lots of times it isn't done. So those sanctioning fees, we increased some of them, not all of our divisions last year. We increased some of them, and it generated about $33,000 or $34,000 more dollars in point funds to the racers.
What's kind of that number that was paid out this year? Point funds, the grand total, I guess.
Well, the grand total, if you don't include the GM money and some of that other stuff, just strictly point funds this year,
Right
it was
about
like
$1 million.
It was $634. It got almost to that. It got almost to $1 million when you add up all the other stuff. $634,000 was just the track point funds, the national point funds, and stuff like that.
Then you throw in everything else. You start adding contingencies in, and
we put out the same week. We put out right at it was between 99 and 100 grand in IMCA TV point funds to the 50.
Racers.
We had like 58 facilities that are broadcasting through and streaming through IMCA TV weekly shows, or their special events, or a combination of the two. And we had 58, I think it was 58 racetracks that qualified for that. So in that particular situation, every single division at that track, we allocate a certain amount of money to the top three. We do the top three in points. It's 99,000 and some change, but it ended up going to, I don't know, we had some divisions where Sport Compact guys got money. See, we don't do a Sport Compact point fund. So Sport Compact guys got streaming money.
Mm-hmm.
What people don't necessarily understand about the streaming stuff is not only do we pay the racers, we pay the racetracks as well. The racetracks get some of that replay revenue share as well. So it's pushing money to tracks and it's pushing money to racers, all of which we need. We need racetracks to be open. We need racers for shows to exist. So yeah, we added 100 grand in there. We put the GM money, it was like 56,000 or 50,000. Another 50 grand from GM to the racers who had crate engines. So all that stuff just starts adding up.
It's big money.
It does. It gets to be pretty big money.
yeah, especially when you're spreading over 9,000 racers or whatever the membership we have.
Yep.
With all the facilities we also have, it's
If you just look at the point funds alone, it's and all of the money associated with it, it's I think it was just shy of 900,000 is in that range this year. But think of it this way though. Think of all the money that IMCA racers are racing for across the United States on a purse basis, on a weekly basis. We sanctioned 5,272 events this year, 5,272. If you just did an average purse of
Jerry's going to the calculator.
Just do an average purse. You know what your purses are at Marshalltown off the top of your head, probably.
Real quick, see what
But
it is.
at IMCA, we don't dictate the purses, so it varies so much. We have some tracks that pay $1,000 to win. So we have some tracks that pay $200 to win. Some tracks.
Watermelons.
Some of those club tracks don't even have a purse some nights. do they?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of racers don't understand
Don't realize that there are some tracks out there you're not racing for money.
Exactly.
But you take 5,272 events, and that's a lot of races with an average purse of $1,000. Do the math. If it was 1,000, it's probably more than that, actually, to be honest.
The
average purse-
52.72. That's each individual. That's each
Race.
individual race. So
Correct.
like a Boone on a Saturday night, that would count for 5 of them.
Correct.
It's not one race night.
Correct.
So, yeah. So
But they have a purse for each one of those.
Right.
Every 5272
Yep,
has a purse. If
purse,
you
yep.
figured it was $1,000,
Right.
which if you take the compacts, that's probably not the case. But if you look at hobby stocks and sport mods and stock cars and modifieds, and then throw in late models and race savers and some of the other stuff, mod lights,
I would definitely say it would average 1,000.
I would say 1,000 is probably a little conservative.
Yeah.
It's probably fair, but multiply that by 5272.
Jerry?
Did you do that?
No, but I just I looked
He's
back
looking
at
at pictures. He's on Facebook Reels.
No, I actually I'm looking at what-
Amazon.
Pornhub.
Yeah, no, I did that on the way over, thinking of
You paid that much money out?
yeah. I mean, just to,
Just add the
I
three
mean,
zeros.
like at Marshalltown. I mean, we're sending out $315,000 in 1099s, and had over the course of the year with all the specials and stuff, just over almost $408,000 we paid out.
Yeah, it's just
Friday
one
nights.
racetrack.
That's what. Yeah, and you take. I think our
We
champion,
sanctioned
our champion. I think was Todd Shute. I think he was very happy with his points fund check. He was like, ooh, more than I thought I was going to get.
You gave some kick-ass prizes at your banquet, too, to your champions.
Yeah, we had some pretty
cool
neat stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so I mean,
everybody left with a prize.
if every track had a 300,000 in an annual purses at their facility, I mean, if you start doing the math again, 250 racetracks we did business at this year, 40
about
states,
300,000.
plus Canada. Yes, those numbers get really big, really fast. 5.2 million if every track at 5272 had $1,000 weekly purse, and we know they're more than that on average, I think. So you're at 5.2 million in purse money. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars running through IMCA racing over the course of a year, especially. But it's interesting to me because racers spend tons of money. We know that it's not a cheap sport to be in. We say it's affordable, but that's a relative term. But if you took, I just look at like Super Nationals at times too, and just like when you got the 8 main out on a racetrack and there's 33 IMCA modifieds, which is the most we put out on the track. Do the math on how much money's on the racetrack at that time. It's kind of scary. It is. It's kind of scary, and then you get into situations where big crashes happen, and you just start adding numbers in your mind.
dollar sign.
Yeah. There's a huge financial impact by IMCA racing all across the country, and obviously when I say IMCA racing, that includes promoters, that includes sponsors, that includes racers, it includes race fans. There's a lot of moving components in this industry that churn out some pretty cool events and make a huge financial impact on their communities.
If you take that number, 33 times what the average person says they spend on a car, it's almost $2 million.
Yeah, just on the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when people say, "Oh, you guys just want to crash cars," no. No, we know how much is out there. There's a lot. We don't want cars to crash.
Yeah, we don't want you to crash. Why don't you come back next week?
We just
We'll
want
see
good
you next
racing.
night. Yeah.
Crashing sometimes becomes a part of that, but it's not by our intent or what we want to see happen.
What else happened this year?
What else?
Ryan?
What else happened?
Yeah. Give us your highlight of the year.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you can't spring that on me like that. I don't know.
Just did.
Highlighted like best race or best moment. Or,
Highlight of the year, period.
Just highlight of the year.
God, I don't know.
Racing or not?
Come back to me. Let me give it some thought. You did this before. If you like the last podcast we had here, you sprung it on me. I don't know.
Well, you're the one with all the stats.
I always when shit like that happens during Super Nationals or when just any race you're at, and you're like, oh, that's such a cool moment. That's such a
Right.
cool thing.
Yeah.
It's like you always want to like write it down mentally, and then
You think you'll always remember it, and then something
you
else
don't.
happens.
Correct.
And you're like, oh, man, that was so amazing. It was cooler than that last thing.
That's the
Off
best
to
race
the
I've
next
seen
one.
all year, and then you forget about it because
Yeah.
you
Till
see
next
another good
week.
one. Yeah.
off to the next race, and it's another new moment. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many good stories out there. I wouldn't even know where to begin. You know, that's the thing I think we're all very blessed, is we get to see and be a part of these stories that happen out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, to try to pick one of the best, I don't think I can do it. I really don't.
What about next year?
We gonna
Let's
do
move
it?
on to next
What's the
year.
best what's the best moment from next year?
Yeah. What, you want any predictions?
Well, I'm going to go on a limb and say,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
We still just that just came up yesterday. We still are getting Boone 2 questions.
Now we're gonna
At PRI, I had people
Oh,
come up to
yeah.
me.
Everybody's, hey, when's that second track going to be
now
open
we're
at
gonna
Boone?
have to do it.
I said, it's already done.
It's almost like
What?
we're gonna have to.
Oh,
do
yeah,
it
they
now.
already have it built. They're just waiting on the grandstands to go up.
There's room. There's be no place for fans to park
Or camp.
or any camping.
Well, we haven't announced yet. We bought Walmart, so we'll use that parking lot.
We did.
Wow. Just up there yesterday. I didn't see the sold sign in the front yard.
You didn't look hard.
No, but heck, it's just going to be a couple of short weeks. I don't know how many decks. What's today's date? 10 days or so, and we're gonna be racing in Yuma
Season
Go to
starts.
go to Kokopah.
for the Winter,
Winter
Nationals.
Nationals, 8 days of
It's January 2nd, isn't it?
Yeah.
practice on the second, then race Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, take Sunday, Monday off.
Are you guys traveling together out there?
Negative.
Carpooling.
No.
Negative.
Are you going out for that?
I learned my lesson.
Carpooling with him?
It took him 8 hours and
so
16
mean.
hours in a different direction.
Oh, that's
That
right,
was
you had
okay. That was okay. But no.
No, yeah, we practice on the second down there at Kokopah, and then we added a day for the second week because it used to just be practice on Wednesday, race Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but now it's.
You turn this
Practice
off.
Tuesday.
As
Oh, you want me to?
Why? I like it.
Well, it's nice. I'm looking over and I just.
Are we gonna have to run a B this year?
I heard rumor there may have to be 2B mains.
2B mains?
Yeah.
They do have a
What?
passing
I think
point.
100,
system for down there,
109, 109 modifieds pre-entered, 87 stock cars, sport mods is above that. There's a lot of cars pre-entered for that deal.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about that show. It's one of those shows you can pretty much
Streamed
guarantee
on
you're not going
IMCA
to get a rain
TV.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a pretty kick-ass broadcast too, by the sounds of it. A Super Nationals type broadcast is what Nate and Chris sometimes reference it as.
Nate will be down there with his new toy.
He has all kinds of new toys we're looking for.
We like
Producer
new
Nate's
toys.
got new digs at the track.
Yeah, he's got a new trailer.
We did. They've got a production trailer now they're going to be
Yes.
using this year. No more broadcasting out of a suitcase.
I don't know how they got the wheel. I don't know. I don't know how you guys got that trailer.
funny,
from
but it's
behind
not,
the
'cause it's
racetrack at
true.
Boone with
It's
on
like
wheels.
It's like the briefcase the president carries with the handcuff,
Yeah.
the security guy, and you set up open it up, and there's like all these mobile devices.
It's like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. It just glows when you open it.
yeah,
And
exactly.
you don't know what's in it.
like ooh,
Speculation of what
what's
it
in
is.
there. But
Yep.
yeah,
It's going to be
production van.
be a great show again.
Yeah,
I mean,
always is.
It always is. It's
Can't
great racing.
Can't go wrong with being somewhere where it's 75 and sunny every day.
Is it though?
How many hey Nate, how many broadcasts did you guys do last year? Do you know off the top of your head?
3.
A lot.
3.
Three.
Somewhere between 3 and a million.
3 in a million.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, yeah, exactly. More than 2, less than a million.
It's more than
If I had
52.
to go out on a limb, there's probably
It's more than 5,200. They had more broadcasts than we had events, didn't you? I would. Well, in IMCA TV, obviously, you didn't broadcast them all, but they're doing a lot of on the platform. Nate
yeah,
does.
with the platform with like
Yeah, they do thousands and thousands of broadcasts now through the Rivet platform, through Speed Sport TV.
Yeah, Nate will be moving.
Yeah, people can't hear Nate talking, but
But he said, yeah, on the Speed Sport or Rivet platform, IMCA TV does almost right at half of what the streaming is.
but
on
they
it.
they broadcast motorcycle
kinds of
races. They do
stuff.
demo
Demo
derbies.
derbies.
Some of the biggest.
Those
demo
derbies are
derbies.
huge.
PRI shows.
Yeah, do they?
Speed Sport. They had
Yeah, that's
You
right.
you were a guest.
Uh,
Oh, I thought
They did
oh,
like
okay.
Facebook pushes, Jim.
Didn't
Recorded
get,
it.
Didn't get it
They're
set up.
super sophisticated at Speed Sport. They do all that fancy stuff we don't know how to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, Snapchat, what do I do with that?
Well, you're techno Brent now.
Yeah, I'm moving up. I'm gonna have Kennedy be. I'm gonna have my daughter be. She's gonna manage my social media
director.
accounts
Gonna-
for me.
yeah. Can't
It'll
wait
be
to
a-
That's
see
not a
what
bad
yours-
idea. She's got more knowledge of it probably than most people do. I mean, their kids are on it all the time.
I'm not joking. Her Christmas list this year was a PowerPoint that she mirrored to her television on the wall in her bedroom, and she did a presentation.
She said, "Here's what I want for Christmas."
I'm like, how do you?
Did she have the pointer out too?
I was like, wait a second. How do you get your computer to show up on your TV on the wall?
A lot of people watch IMCA
like,
TV
really, Dad?
broadcasts.
That's
that
how
way.
I do it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't. I watch
cast
it on
or
my
the-
phone. But anyhow,
Jim usually
she's going
watches
to be
from
in
his
charge of
magic
social
box.
media at IMCA.
That's right.
As soon as she's 14 and I can legally employ her, she'll probably be working.
Yeah, but
at-
you can only
at
employ her for so
IMCA.
many hours a day, and not after certain.
She won't
times
need
of the
much. She's
day.
pretty efficient. It's kind of crazy.
It's all right. She'll
Shove
only
it.
be employed here to announce races, so
Yeah.
to fill in or replace.
So IMCA TV is going to stream Yuma,
Yep.
Kokopa. Jim's going down. Jerry's going down. Dave is going down.
Grant's going down.
Grant's
Yep.
going down.
Dave usually goes the second week, and usually has to come home with something.
Grant's race directing, right?
Yep. Grant will be raced.
For those that don't know who Grant is, Grant also race directs at,
Grant
at,
who?
Super
at,
Nationals.
at Boone and at Super
Nationals.
Nationals and the Dakota Tour.
Yep.
That's right.
The Dakota Tour and that big announcement
right.
out of there.
Oh
Big
yeah,
changes up there.
John Gardner has sold the tour
he is retired.
to the promotional
Correct.
group. To a promotional group. I don't know how you would call it. Is
The
it
tracks.
The track,
The race
yeah.
tracks. Yeah.
Yep.
So the tracks that have hosted the tour races for the last I don't know how many years
Will
8,000.
have come to an agreement to
take over the management.
take
of
over the
tour.
management of the tour.
And you know, you're really not going to notice any changes.
No.
The plans, Grant's still going to be up there. IMCA TV is still going to be a huge part of it. And I believe even a bigger part moving forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'll need.
34 years is a long time. John's run the tour for 34
Are you going to be
years.
using Spec Part 1 that week? Because I might need to use it.
yes, I will be.
All right, you're going to fly, and then I'll just.
I'm going to get you one of those gyrocopters, Jerry.
Like Lottie.
like Mad Max.
Lottie had a gyrocopter.
Yes, he did.
No,
have
Lottie
gyro-
actually had this plane that he bought. He
No.
bought a Subaru engine from the Subaru dealership I worked at years ago.
That was a
plane.
helicopter. That was a gyrocopter.
I thought it was like
He
a
had
little plane.
gyrocopter. It's like the one on Mad Max that the
Yeah.
one guy with the bad teeth flies.
Yes.
Do you have to,
Oh,
do you have to pedal it?
I don't know what his name was, but
No, that's in the Flintstones. You
Oh,
ding-a-ling.
yeah. That was one of those where you lay it on your back and you're up.
Yeah. That was a
kind of like a flying
gyrocopter.
go-kart. It's like a helicopter go-kart,
yeah,
is what it is. But anyhow, so yeah, so Dakota Tour.
Changes.
Yep.
All for
Some
the better.
changes there.
All for good. It's going to be once again a great event.
Oh, it-
Looking forward to it.
Super Nationals, same
Try
starts
it
the same time.
Try it again. Well, it actually starts early this year.
It starts earlier, and I think the Prelude's in
Prelude's
August.
in August.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way the
31st,
calendar
something like
lays
that.
with the leap year.
Yeah.
So
The
we're-
Prelude starts in. I mean, the Super National's still in September. But
We're
the
going
Prelude-
to expand the Super Nationals to 2 months, August and September.
Labor
I
Day.
thought it was already
For
there.
those who want the truth, Labor Day. Just remember Labor Day. when it
September
comes-
2nd.
September 2nd.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't. It's already well on its way. Labor Day,
August 31st, that Saturday.
Yeah.
Is,
Mod Lights, and
Yep. Yep. Clash at the Coast.
That's, yeah.
I don't want to jump over the southern or the icebreaker at Abilene. There's always the third weekend or so in February
February, yeah.
for that South Central region of IMCA racing. So we've got obviously Yuma going on in January. You got Texas starts racing in the third weekend in February.
Then the next weekend after that, we go to. Yeah, like
And then
that.
you've got Florida now. Like Peyton Taylor's got the Florida deal going pretty good by the sounds of it.
stock
He's-
cars.
I'm
the
here to tell you
entries-
what, looking at the
The entries
pre-entries
are
on
open.
that, I
we're
mean,
open
it's.
for that. So we added stock cars.
Yep.
I think right now, I looked at it this morning. I talked to Peyton on the way up here. We were chatting about some stuff, and it's over 100 pre-entered in both divisions combined, which is pretty awesome. When you look at some of the names this year, it's
For
like
the second year.
it's like wow.
We don't have any stock car
Yeah,
racing
yes.
in that area.
What's the closest?
Sanctioned.
Yeah, there's
We
nothing
don't
in the
have
area.
much. No.
Closest sanction, Batesville.
So for us, you know, it's always we're always a little skeptical in situations like that. In particular, running a division that far away from where the concentration of race cars are at. For those that wonder how our thinking goes with some of these situations, the weekly racing still is what drives. There's got to be race cars. and weekly racing is still what drives these special events to happen. The tours like the Dakota Tour, even Yuma, there's a lot in that Phoenix market and in that California West Coast market. There's a lot of IMCA cars out there.
And just people that come from Canada and up, like up here in the central part and the north part of the
Frozen
region.
tundra.
Yeah, I mean a lot of these guys this like Super Nationals. This is their vacation time. They go where it's nice.
Good
When
time
you
of year
look
to
at
do
that,
it.
yeah, when you look at that Florida market, there's only a couple mod sanctions down there. There's not much, and
Northwest
there's
Florida and Southern.
50
correct, and there's no stock car sanctions down there at all.
Anywhere.
So it's impressive to me whenever you can assemble more than a full field in a situation like that, and it sure appears that that's going to be very easy for Peyton to accomplish this year. So
Yeah, right now
Gonna drop some names or what?
55 mods and 36 stock cars.
and we're still in December.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've got
We still
stock
got
cars.
2 months,
Yeah, Indiana, Iowa,
2.5 months.
Are you an administrator on
Texas,
that on MRP
Missouri,
too?
He's just all of them.
Florida.
Is there a track that you're not an administrator on MRP
No.
for?
Arkansas, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all over the
I mean,
place.
Yeah.
We've added a sanction at Wilmot for next year, right, Jim?
Well, we did, Wilmot's new, and then Eagle River looks like they're going to do stock cars
Yeah. So we're
up in
adding,
Wisconsin.
we're
They're going to do snow. They're going to do snowmobiles
we need to
here
talk
shortly,
then.
too.
we're
We did
adding
the other
some.
day.
Not about that.
Yeah, we did.
Speaking of Wisconsin, you're going to go to Wisconsin, aren't
That's
you?
right.
In
February
January?
Ryan goes on the road.
second,
You go on.
second or third. I
What
think.
are you doing?
Luxembourg Trade Show.
Oh, yeah, that's always a good time.
That's
Yep.
a busy place up there. They do a lot in a very short period of time, and they cram a lot of stuff into that.
We're going to have you
facility.
take up some stock car hoodies and some mod hoodies and some T-shirts up there. Buy a license, you get a free T-shirt.
Yep.
That's what we've been doing.
Goes over very well.
Yeah.
Part of
time.
the
Fire
Ryan-
sale
Ryan
on some
Clark
of the leftover
World Tour of
Supernational stuff.
2024 kicks off in
In
Luxembourg,
Luxembourg, Wisconsin.
coming to a city near
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to get T-shirts made.
Well, you want to write up with me?
I'll be in Florida.
Ryan and
Oh, darn.
Jerry have T-shirts already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What am I thinking?
Maybe we should come up with a gym T-shirt for next year.
I've got. Hey,
Oh, you do?
that's a really
A gym shirt.
What
Gym
a,
A
shirt.
gym shirt. Like gym shoes.
Speaking
or
of Jim, I got Jim a gift. I want to give Jim a gift.
Oh, boy. This should be good.
Oh boy.
I hope it's an 8x10 glossy of me.
Although we can't say that
Oh, we
word on the
can't say it.
podcast, we can.
No, you did once, but it
Yeah,
was
you did once.
it was well
I got
needed.
Jim a Christmas gift.
A gift bag? Is that his
Yeah,
gift?
it's like a podcast gift.
Oh,
What's that say?
I can't say that word on the
it
podcast.
says Merry Christmas. Open your present, ding dong.
It's like double wrapped or something.
You know, you ever when
Double
you're out
wrap. Does
shopping
that work
for
when you
Christmas?
double wrap it?
When you're out shopping for Christmas and you just.
No. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. Nate.
yeah. Ask Nate.
Oh,
He knows.
boy.
He's tried triple wrapping and he got triplets. Hey, show the
got
crowd
Jim.
at home what you got.
I got Jim a podcast shirt.
Let's see. My apologies to anyone I've not yet offended.
I will get to you eventually. That is Jim's,
Nice.
That's
That
Jim's
is
podcast
perfect.
theme.
That's right.
Yes.
I've been
He's an equal opportunity offender.
Absolutely.
That shirt just screamed, "Hey, that's Jim." My shirt screams, "Surely not everybody was kung
Did you get
fu
him the right
fighting."
size?
Well, he has
Whatever
I
you
hope
do,
so,
do
I
not
guess.
dry that. Don't dry it.
I guess
No,
it's
no.
a district
to.
fat.
He only has to
thread,
fit that over his ego, not yours.
might be
Jerry.
one of those.
Oh,
Might be one of
wow.
those
We
slim,
had to go to Lincoln
extra
Tent
larges.
Awning to get over
Freaking
that.
I couldn't
the
just get
mommy
Jim a gift, so I
guys.
got a gift for you guys as well.
Oh.
Who wants their gift first? I got one for Jerry.
Well, since it's already here, I'll just hand it over.
Here's Jerry's gift.
Ooh, this makes noise.
It's a gift for you. Why wouldn't it?
When you're out shopping, I'm like, what could I get Jerry that would fit Jerry?
What's a guy that has everything? What can
I mean,
you get him?
It's a
It's a
I
coffee
know.
mug.
It's a,
coffee mug.
you're holding.
It's a ball.
You're holding on to your. You're holding on.
It's a ball sack coffee mug.
And you're holding on to your dick, Jerry.
I just for some reason, Jerry, that just made me think of you.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
Yes. Me and my ball sack.
I'm like, oh,
Isn't the handle a dick?
this is so yes. This is so like this is so Jerry.
God.
You know, it's,
I don't need.
This would
my
look more
dick.
natural in your hands.
know what's funny? You really make that the true gag gift. It's like calling a fat guy skinny.
Then I had to find something for Ryan, and I'm like, gosh, how would
Dude, what did you get me last year? Your daughter got me a shirt.
how would I possibly
This
find
is
something
better than the gift I got last year.
better than Jerry's ball sack for Ryan?
Well, he's already had that.
No,
And-
he's
and,
not.
I mean, sometimes
he's
you-
denied it many times.
Sometimes sometimes things just happen for a reason, right?
Oh,
And
hell no.
I came across,
hell. What the hell?
I came across this. Like,
A
what are
hunky
the odds?
inflatable and the name is Jerry?
Yes. I'm like, it's meant to be.
Blow it up. Blow it
It
up.
is so meant to be. I'm
Christmas
like,
is done.
you don't
Nothing
have to
can
take it
top
out.
this.
Here we got to put this on camera really good. Yeah, put this on, Nate. Look at this is a hunky inflatable, pool inflatable,
And its name is Jerry.
and its name is Jerry.
Where in the hell
So,
did you
where did you
find
get
that?
We're gonna get a picture of Ryan this summer.
You're not going to get a picture of me
laying
riding
in
Jerry.
this,
I guarantee
laying
that'll
in this
never happen.
We
inflatable.
could be at Boone Lake. Take her to Boone Lake.
And I just thought this is just perfect. You know how hard I looked for one that said Ryan on it too.
You were gonna get us matching ones.
So is his
I was
name on
gonna-
there? I mean,
Yes.
So
Take
you
it out.
got my name on that, and I got your ball sack.
Hey, take it out and blow
Yeah, I
Jerry.
couldn't give Jerry an inflatable of himself. That would have
Yeah.
been weird. I mean, this is just so perfect. The hunky inflatable of Jerry.
Nate,
Ryan.
do we have one of these
We're gonna get
MA ratings for this podcast? Come on,
Where
Ryan.
in the hell did you find the nut sack?
Can't
That can
tell you my
replace your
shopping.
inflatable.
fee.
Oh,
you
hey,
got a
just
Jerry
so
right
you
now.
know, it says gently hand wash, do not microwave.
Yeah.
Don't you gently hand wash those parts anyway?
Every morning.
But I wanted to give everybody something to turn over a new leaf. I want to be, have a nice day to everybody, So I bought a coffee mug for myself.
Oh, you give us these gifts and then you tell everybody else to have a nice day. What a dick.
Well, you see the bottom of the mug, right? Oh, shit.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Let's do shots.
We have to. No, we got to drive.
You
Yeah.
got it right there.
We got a bottle here.
We are going to have our company Christmas party in an hour or so.
That's okay.
But anything else?
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you, Brett.
That's what I wanted.
It just makes
This
me
is
smile.
exactly what I wanted is to be able to
We
Go to hell, Brett. I don't like my gifts.
be able to caress a ball sack when I'm drinking warm coffee.
out of all seriousness, though, we poke a lot of fun at
You get extra cream in that too.
yeah, we poke a lot of fun at people outside of the podcast room. People we know, people we don't know. We also poke a lot of
like people we don't like.
people we like, people we don't like, people that like us, people that don't like us. But in all seriousness, obviously, I want to tell everybody thank you for all you guys are doing for IMCA. I said it at the banquet, and I can't tell you guys enough how much our relationship means to me.
You will.
So
Let Brett talk. I know. Don't interrupt him. He's actually being nice to us.
So, no, I do. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Obviously, inside the podcast room, and Nate and his family, and all the staff at IMCA, and everybody does such a good job. We got a good team here, and
We
it's
got
so
the
fun to
best
be a
team.
part of. I said it before too. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and I've really enjoyed the opportunity I've had here to be a part of what IMCA is. I'm a small part of a pretty cool bunch of people that work for a common goal, and we like to have fun and make fun of each other and shit like that. So
And other people.
and other people,
Sanctions.
Mostly Jerry.
but
Yeah, mostly me.
you're easy to make fun of.
Oh, I know. I'm an easy target.
I'm in a holiday mood. Turn
You've
your
even
shirt
got
back
your own
on.
inflatable. I mean, who has their own inflatable?
Well,
I mean,
Ryan-
nobody else
Ryan
at the
already has
podcast table
Jerry
has their own.
inflatable. Now he's just got another one.
I really want to take this out.
Yeah, let's blow it up. Let's see what it says, and then we'll put you on the table here.
Go ahead, blow Jerry.
We'll get that out for the next podcast.
I just want to look. His name is actually on this.
It shows it's on the box. It's on my ass.
I gotta ask, where do you get something
yeah,
like
where did
that
you
at?
get that?
I came
Spencer's?
across that
Be careful how you choose your words.
I came across that at a store.
Came across that.
In a store in Texas. I'm like, this is just was meant to be. It kind of started the whole podcast gift idea, and then I'm like, well, geez, I got to get something for everybody. I'm like, there's no way I could not buy that an inflatable, a hunky
it's back
inflatable
here.
named Jerry. I mean, it literally has it on the inflatable.
It does.
That is the best.
I'm going to assume that this is right because there's this little.
You want to blow that up for us, Ryan?
Yeah, put your lips around
Jerry's the one with the hot air. Do you want to do it?
What?
No, don't put your mouth on there. No.
Oh, shoot.
God, you guys got to stop throwing softballs up here.
Yeah.
No.
What else?
I think
You can bring that over to the pool this summer. Float around in it.
It doesn't look it's funny anymore.
Put
Oh,
it
it's funny.
Put, it with, put it with the rest of the inflatables in the house.
Oh, gosh.
I will gladly. Maybe I'll.
I can't wait
use
till you
it in
show.
the-
I can't wait till you show your mother that. She is going to be so. She's going to be like, "That's a very nice present."
I know where I'll remember where I got it. So if you happen to pop a hole in that, I'll get you another one.
need a lick.
No.
Be careful with that thing.
Don't poke around my name.
Don't ruin it before Super Nationals. We need that for Super Nationals.
You're all a bunch of bitches. You know that?
Well, I didn't get you the present.
We are gonna fill up Lake Boone just for
Just for
you
me?
at
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Nationals
I'll
in
be sure to bring
2024.
that.
So
I'll
you
be
can
sure to.
ride Jerry in front of everybody.
I might go straight. if
Come
that's
on,
the case.
sailor.
I'll be straight.
Yeah, that's believable.
God. Well, you know what? This is what our second year of podcast, 16 episodes. I think we've hit an all-time low today.
Thank you. I'll take credit for that.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Oh,
Don't look at me like that.
Why? Are you looking at me in a different way? You hunky man, let me float upon your lap.
I think Ryan needs to wear that all day at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
We'll get suspenders for him.
Wear
Yeah,
that
you could be like your floaty.
Good times.
You could turn it around.
Ryan's speechless.
Turn it around. Yeah. You wish I could.
You could dance with it. It's awesome.
I'm gonna wake up in the morning and just caress my coffee mug every morning. Sip on it and be like, Brett, thank you. They're so.
Moving right
Well,
along.
Yeah.
Any more racing stuff we can talk
Yeah,
about?
let's talk racing again. Any more racing things? We didn't do. Did we talk at all about? We talked about PRI, but we talk about the frame that much.
No, you did
No.
not. The internet did though, but you haven't.
We probably should just mention that real briefly. Get serious if
Got
we
that
can for a
picture
little
there?
bit.
There it is.
Up on the screen there, we've got a picture of the OEM replacement, and that's the 78 to 88 GM midsize metric front subframe, and we just had one frame rail, one side
There'll be more pieces to it.
on display at PRI because we wanted people to have a visual of what was coming. And Speedway's been working on this project for over a year. So, and this is just the component we had on display. We have the rear section as well, and essentially the frame rails as well that connect the front and the back. So this is essentially going to be much like the situation with the mods in the northern sport mods, where they're using the Chevelle frame. The metric one is something that has been the center of a lot of questions, concerns of a lot of people. Chassis builders have been asking about it, and we've tried to just say, be patient. We're working on it. And so Speedway asked if we'd release this at PRI, and I said, yeah, no problem. So we took this they took it with them, and we displayed it in our booth at PRI. So there is light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the supply of that particular frame, which our hobby stocks and stock cars, most of our hobby stocks and stock cars are using that frame.
Yeah, eventually they're going to disappear, and there's not going to be something to replace it with.
Right.
Well, what's neat about it, is when we went to Speedway and actually saw just the effort that goes into this. Their engineering department is just insane. I mean, what
Yeah,
those
there's-
guys can do. And well, how about if we do this? All of a sudden, he pulls it up on the computer. There it is.
They essentially have reverse engineered the GM frame. And this thing's going to have many applications, I would assume, outside of IMCA racing, dirt track racing in particular. I'm sure that there's going to be street riders and stuff like that, people that have a love of that particular car. There's a lot of different cars that went on that frame. So there's going to be a pretty big demand. We got a pretty good feel for that at PRI with it sitting in our booth.
Oh,
It was the topic of discussion.
Well, the second.
From the
most
time
people
we
were-
posted the picture on our Facebook page, and I think Nate threw up a video on Instagram or wherever you put videos. And so it was a pretty popular question. So there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Don't for those in those divisions, no, we don't have the price yet. I'm sure that Speedway will price it appropriately and reasonably and in a way that makes sense for everybody. But it's not going to be free. It's not going to be cheaper than one that you can maybe find in the
See the picture of
in
that
the
again?
weeds and behind somebody's house.
You know what I don't see on there?
What?
Come on. The most asked about question on
Oh,
Facebook.
is it IMCA?
Oh, where's the stamp at?
Yeah, where's the sticker?
It's got a Speedway stamp on it, but yeah, there's no stickers on this.
Oh,
We couldn't get them
man.
to stick for some reason. I figured if we stickered it and then tried to powder coat it, it might be a problem. So we decided not to sticker it. No, at all seriousness, it's interesting because we have, and I'm not going to say anybody in particular. We've had a chassis builder that's been somewhat behind the scenes involved with us on some of this, and I wanted to have a third party involved a little bit just so they could see how these things develop. And Jim touched on it. Speedway in particular has got, they've got an engineering department at Speedway. This is not people drawing frames up with crayons at their desk as they're answering phones. That's not what goes on over there. They are extremely sophisticated in their engineering department. They're able to reverse engineer this particular frame. They clean it up. They take off stuff like Dave will say, they take off like the brake hole mount where you would put an OEM brake line on a.
Real similar to what they did with
Yeah,
the
much like the
Chevelle
AFCO frame,
frame.
the Chevelle frame that AFCO developed, and Speedway was a little bit involved in that as well. But this is a Speedway product. But they were working on getting it signed off, the final approval signed off on one of the last components because this thing comes in pieces and is assembled. So they were working on getting that signed off, and then once they had that done, which I assume they probably have, they'd put it into full production, and they anticipated them probably to be in the United States as supply to start somewhere around 3 to 4 months after that point. So I would say 4 months from today, 4 months from December, you're probably going to see this product more than likely become available at Speedway. And this is something that we've allowed or going to allow, we intend to allow in 2025. Once we get the full frame, all the pieces, all the components in our possession at IMCA, we're going to build an IMCA stock car with it. We already have a good portion of that done, so we'll get the subframe put under it, and we'll probably build a full IMCA stock car and probably display it at the Super
I
Nationals.
thought it would be neat if you could race it.
I would like to race it. Can I race it?
No.
All the cool sanctioning bodies are.
We want this to last.
I'm never
We want
gonna
it to
say
be around
never.
to be like the original modified was at the museum. We'd like
Yeah.
to have this.
Is the original sport mod there too?
No.
I think if we let
I think it was at
what
like
better
Waterloo
te-
Auto Parts or
What-
Nike
what
It's
better
in parts.
Salvage
It's
or
in parts.
what better testing can we put that car through
Oh yeah.
than to give it the
Nothing more
breath?
rigorous.
Well, you do make a valid, for once in your life, Jim, you make a very valid point.
Thank
But
you,
that's
Jerry.
that the frame's going to be available for Southern Sport Mods, which they have to use that metric frame. So they'll be available for them in hobby stocks and stock cars starting in 2025. So don't ask to use it in Super Nationals this year. I imagine that frame will probably be in the States and be available prior to the season ending this year.
And don't ask since
So don't ask to use it this year
Or
because
a
it's in
tube
2024.
frame
Because we're not going to allow it in 2024. We're not going the tube frame route. The fabricated metric frame route. It's been a question that we've got asked for quite a few last year or so, and the reason why we've said no to that is this has been the direction we chose to go, much like we did with the Chevelle frame with AFCO. for the mods and the Northern Sport mods.
Maintains the
So-
integrity of the OEM frame.
Yes, and obviously this subframe, you could take the front subframe and stub an existing car with
Yeah.
it. You could take the rear subframe and put a rear clip on a car that gets crashed, that existing car that gets crashed. You could use that. So there's going to be some. You're going to be able to use this frame in a variety of different ways. All racers will, and I still think it's important to note that they aren't mandatory. You don't have to use this frame.
It's an option.
It's an option. It is our OEM replacement solution. But if you don't like the price of it, if you think it's too much, and you have an OEM frame still sitting somewhere that you
Use it.
use it.
Use them up. Use them up till they're gone.
The point is, in the position we've taken with this, is that this frame that we've got is not going to be an advantage over an existing OEM frame. We'll put out a really strict, and we're going to do this again in conjunction with Speedway. We're going to put out a really strict frame print for this particular product. It's going to have some very specific dimensions on its lengths, the frame rails, the rear cross member, all those kinds of things will all have dimensions, and we'll expect it to be fully followed by anybody building a car on that frame. And if it's not, then the car won't be allowed to race.
There's going to be a lot of things added to this frame that will make that job easier for not only Dave, but the weekly tech guys across the country to come up with some easy measurements to make sure that it is legitimate.
Yeah, so I think that that was probably the most popular subject we dealt with at PRI this year.
According to Kevin Larkins, we shut down the phones at
The
Speedway.
phones at Speedway went crazy the first day.
If you can believe
It was
Kevin
funny
Larkins.
because it was funny because the this has been pretty secret. There's very few people that know about this, and that frame in particular, I hadn't seen that frame as we had in our booth until our banquet.
Yeah.
We went to Speedway Saturday of our banquet, and they had the prototype. They had these pieces there, and I said, let's just take it to PRI. So they built some stands for it, and we took it. But at Speedway itself, it's a big company, but their phone department did not know about this project.
None
And
of the
so
race techs.
they asked us to release it at PRI. We did it kind of secretly, and they brought it, and we put up a sign and said, here it is, put a picture on the internet. That's about how it went down. And then their phones went bonkers at Speedway, and the people answering the phones had no idea what the hell anybody was talking about.
Know what you're talking about.
Do you guys got something at PRI that we don't know about? And we're like, yep. Yeah. And so, it was
Yep.
it was
We
quite
don't know about it
entertaining.
either.
It was quite entertaining. So, but I think it's going to be wildly popular. I think it does. It provides a solution. It gives a future in those particular divisions that are using that frame a little bit more direction. So,
Once again, it's just another piece that makes IMCA the leader in this racing industry.
we're just fortunate. We're fortunate to have Speedway. We're fortunate to have really good companies that sponsor IMCA racing with
Back
people
us.
that are very knowledgeable in racing. That we can use as a resource to help us get a little direction with our rules. And I'll just use the Schoenfeld headers as a situation as well. We reach out to them for putting headers in our hobby stocks. Doug has been, again, we worked on that much of this year, trying to come up with a header that worked in conjunction with or replacement of the cast iron exhaust rules we've had for years. So it was nice to work with Doug on the header solution, and it's been really nice to work with Speedway. And again, I don't think people understand just how much Speedway brings to the table when it comes to something like this.
Well, it's people think these projects we come up with like the day we write the rules and boom. I mean, this one's been in the making, like you said, for how long now?
About a year and a half.
Yeah.
That's how long they've been working on this. So it can't be done that quickly because it's so sophisticated. Expensive. It's expensive to do too. That's the other thing. It's got a mandrel bent 2x4 rear frame rail on it, and some other things. And when these things start becoming available to us, we'll post pictures. We'll talk about it in a podcast. We might even have to do a video on the complete frame once it's assembled. But when we get all those components, we'll get it put together, and we'll get a car built and show it off.
Season 3, episode 27, I believe.
Something like that.
If I look at our schedule,
Look at the schedule.
The production
Well,
schedule.
looking at schedules,
Anyhow,
you guys
so-
need to get to a Christmas party. So we better.
Yeah, it's
wrap
enough
this
about
thing
it.
up.
It's enough. Again, we want to thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for racing IMCA. Thank everybody that has anything to do with IMCA dirt track racing across the board for all they do for us. We've had a great year, and we look forward to next year. And want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
and once again, we can't stress enough, like Brett said, the amount of appreciation we have for all of you, that sacrifice, and just to go out there and enjoy your hobby. We're just happy we can be a part of it.
Closing thoughts on the year from you, friend?
I figured out my favorite day, my highlight of the year. This is my highlight of the year.
It's all our highlights of the year.
Ryan, all I gotta say, and we can close
We're
the
gonna have-
podcast on this. If Jerry's ass is a highlight of
We not only have his highlight of this year, we've already got his highlight for next year, too.
Yes.
No,
gonna
that's
have
going to be the highlight, your highlight of the year when you see me out on my new floaty.
Ryan's highlight in about an hour.
Good times.
What a deal.
All right, wrap her up, Mr.
Happy
Jerry.
holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll look to see you on IMCA TV at Coca-Paw. Remember, get the replay pass if you maybe somebody wants a Christmas present.
There's some
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, get them right now. Go out and buy them. Buy it right now. The Winter Nationals package for Coca-Paw.
Nate's standing by the phones
Yes.
right now, ready to answer.
Operators are standing by.
Give you a chance to personally
Yes.
talk to Nate when you order your package.
Yes, and if you call, and if you're one of the first 30 callers, you will get an 8x10 glossy of Ryan and the Jerry Floaty.
I was thinking Nate, producer Nate.
All right, enjoy your holidays, and we'll see you after the first of the year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for supporting IMCA Racing.